All right, new pastor's blog.
Yeah, welcome everybody back to the pastor's blog. It's been a little while, but we actually have plenty to talk about today, so it should be good.
Yeah, things are kind of quiet during the summer, but it is time for a number of updates. The first of which really has to do with the leadership in our conference. We have a new district superintendent now, Reverend Randy Woodham, and his wife Kathy, who just arrived in June. And I'm really excited about this. Randy's been a friend of mine for over 20 years, and he'll give great leadership to our district. And you'll have a chance to meet him somewhere before too long, if you haven't already. We also have a new bishop here in our annual conference. Bishop Paul Leland was elected at jurisdictional conference late this summer, and takes office September the 1st. I've not met him. Everything I hear about him is good. And I look forward to getting to know him and developing a relationship with him as my boss and our Episcopal leader for this whole conference. So what else is up?
Well, there's some good news in terms of our financial status.
Yeah. Things really have been tough for some time with the downturn in the economy, and especially the housing and building and development related stuff has really hit us hard and our congregation hard. We are, as of this point, 0.8% ahead of our budget, so we are cautiously optimistic. We're trying to be careful in our spending, and I'll have to say this: a number of folks have really been hit hard and have not been able to give as they have in years past, and have told me that they really feel bad about this. Some have had to give out of their savings, but the other thing is, in the same time that some people are having a really hard time, others have had an especially good time financially, and they have been extra generous. And so the extra generosity of some of these other people has helped to balance all that out. So thank God for everyone pitching in here.
Yeah.
The other thing is, speaking of finances, how did we do with the collecting change for Durango?
Yeah, as of our last count for the Change for Durango project, we are a little bit over $10,000.
That's a lot of change in that little house. Yeah. But everyone was faithful, and this really surprised me and thrilled me, because what does this mean now, Nick, having filled the little house?
Yeah, well, it means the fundraiser's over, but, well, yeah, it means that I'm finally going to get a haircut. So I've been growing my shaggy head out for a few weeks now, and tonight I should be getting a moderately to extremely humiliating haircut.
A haircut / hair coloring, whatever the youth group decides.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, and Neil wasn't completely sure that they wouldn't break my skin at some point, so we'll just have to see what happens.
All right. The next exciting thing that's coming up that we need to tell you about is a church-wide conference that we're calling Surge 2008. Tell us about it, Nick.
Yeah, last year we called it the Leadership Conference, and the reason why we've changed that this year is because there are a lot of people that when they heard about what happened at this conference, they were like, oh, I should have been at that. And but they felt that they weren't leaders, so they didn't come. So what we're trying to do is make it really clear that this is for all engaged people. Yeah. You know, people that this is their church. They're here to have some impact for God, whatever that is, how small or large. So we're going to have a very similar format. We have a theme called A Rising Tide of Concern for Our City. We're going to talk about the impact that a healthy church, dynamic church, has outside of its walls, and how we can try to be part of that both inside and outside the church. And
so there will be both. We intend for this to be both inspiring and equipping. There will be breakout sessions with special work areas represented for you to get more information and get training in some specific areas for service in the church. So what we really want to underline is this really is for everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, this will be a good way for you to get a handle on. Of course, the whole idea behind a surge is a strong movement forward, as the dictionary defines it, and we'd like to think of this as a way to both explain and to invigorate the surge forward that we're making for God's kingdom.
Yeah, our desire is to invite every church member. There's going to be childcare for anybody who needs it, and we're trying to make the culture here that if you come to one event at Lynn Haven over the course of the year, that the Surge event, the church-wide conference, is the one. That this is the one you come to. So we just want to invite everybody, and whoever watches these blogs are the people we're also looking to be the people who invite others and try to raise what we call the buzz for an event.
Sure. And finally, we're going to begin a new format on our Sunday night adult ministries. We've had great success with the children and the youth ministries. And for some time, we've done a Sunday night format where we just did further discussion of whatever the Sunday morning topic was. We want to change that beginning September the 7th. And you'll be leading a forum on what?
Jim and I will be team leading the forum on Are There Many Ways to God?
And this is going to be a new format for a period of time where we have actually a forum on Sunday nights that will be led by one or more pastors, where there will be both a presentation and discussion and question and answer time on topics that we feel like are of interest to you. And listen, we want to know what is of interest to you. So let us know. Will there be an opportunity to do that online?
Yeah, you can always get in touch with Doug and I by emailing to pastors@mylhumc.net. That always will go to Doug or I, and we'll always get that information. So any ideas you have, you can give to that. This fall, we're going to have a series on religious kind of stuff, like we'll have Islam, and we're talking about Are There Many Ways to God? Do we believe in hell? Some spiritual questions that people want good answers for. And then we'll transition a little bit later in the fall to some other more moral questions that have to do with cohabitation and premarital sex,
those kinds of things.
Marriage, divorce, homosexuality, and those things. So it'll be very exciting on Sunday nights here, I think. And we're hoping that we'll have much wider participation from people.
Okay. Does that get you connected? Hey, I should say, if you've seen bulldozers out in front of the church doing some work on one of our ponds to help it maintain the water, actually get rid of the water faster than it has been. So they're not digging for treasure or for crawfish out there, just trying to make the pond do what it ought to do. So our intent, again, if you haven't logged in for a while, is that these pastors' blogs help you to get a hold of some of the buzz that's going on in the church, and we try to update this every couple of weeks. So come back, visit with us again, and we'll give you a new update.